I guess I could just do some sort of like countdown timer for them. So like M, like lifetime, image lifetime, and then we'll just figure it out how many of them we actually need. And we're gonna have like a T array of U paper sprite components. We're just gonna be like M image components. So we're actually gonna need to define this thing real quick. That's what it looks like. Void set image lifetime. Float life. Float get image lifetime. Make image. Let's just do public void make image now. Set kill when object dies. Set follow transform, we don't need that. Get follow components, get follow transform. Light actor scale, we don't need that. Don't need this either. We do need get and set image life. All to set the image lifetime. All to get the image lifetime. Alright. We'll set the current image lifetime to 1. Alright, let's make sure we got this. It's totally not gonna work. Alright. I screwed that up. So what we're basically planning to do is we're going to create a whole bunch of paper sprite components, kind of like one per frame, and we'll time them out and alpha them out and all that. So we actually want, like, we can add and remove the components dynamically, or we can have just like a set number. So what is this? Expected included at the top of the file. Yeah, it's got the wrong file include there for the generated code. And then what we want to be able to do is basically create blueprints, affect things off of this to customize the logic later. Alright, so we want to get like m followed component. Paper flipbook component.h get sprite. Yeah, so we want the uMaterial interface. So we want material. We can't fetch the frickin' sprite color? God damn it. Get sprite. Is there like get current sprite? Is that just not a thing? Like we have paper flipbook, so it's like get flipbook. So paper flipbook equals this guy get flipbook. Get sprite material has been replaced by get material. Okay. Does the flipbook actually have get sprite? Alright, so it has get sprite at frame and get sprite at time and all that stuff, so it's like get frame? Do we have... these functions are just so stupid sometimes. It's like, you know, give me the current frame, give me the current time, you know, something like that. Maybe? No? Yeah, like we've got these protected things which have like the accumulated time and all that sort of crap, but we don't have like, okay, here is the frame that we're on. You know, like that's just silly. Like that should already exist. So we want the flipbook get sprite at time, and we need the actual time. So like float time equals m followed component get time, but you know, like accumulated time. Just like, okay, can't do it. Like, it's fucking bullshit. So we gotta go to paper flipbook component and see exactly where it calls get sprite at time. It doesn't even call it. Well then, what the hell is it doing? just gets the source flipbook get keyframe checked. Did I write this? I probably did. So we have the cached frame index. Of course, we don't use it anywhere. Okay, do we return it? Thank you for following. Hey, it's Char95. Welcome. I am complaining bitterly about all the things, because that's what I do. I need to make this a public function so I can actually snag the frame that we're on and have my way with it. Get spread a cached index. There it is. That's the function that I've been looking for. Alright, so that's what we need. Right now we're trying to make like a basic after image effect by grabbing the current sprite that our flipbook is playing and making a new component that's on another actor that's following us, and then we'll fade it out. So we need to make like a paper sprite component. So we have set sprite, get sprite color. Is there like a material? There's get material. Is there set material? Maybe. Material override for the sprite component pending replaced by materials already inherited from you mesh component. So, okay, so we need to add a component here. New paper sprite component. Let's just see. Create component takes an F string. So we're going to need these image components to So we're going to create a paper sprite component, comp, here we're going to do comp, set sprite, set it to this, and comp, set transform. Set world transform to new transform. We should get the transform of this thing right here. And we're not going to move our after image is going to be like at the origin of the world. So sprite is null pointer, we're just going to return from here. Otherwise we're going to do all this stuff. So let's see what exactly happens here. We don't need the flipbook. Get material. Material index. I guess 0 is what we want to pass in for the material index. Alright, cool, that's working. We'll just go to our utils here. We got follow actor, let's see, create parameterized animated effect. Let's just do like create simple after image. And we're going to pass in an A actor, like object, or maybe we get the paper flipbook component. We don't need a position. We do need a lifetime though. Image lifetime. It should be effect actor. Yeah. We're kind of copy pasting stuff here. That's fine. We're gonna come back and do a whole bunch of stuff. So we don't need this kill component and all this stuff, but we will want the other one. We're going to want our after image controller component. Let's see, image controller. So we're going to do image controller. Dashkin simple, or Dashkin after image effect controller component.h. We're going to call set image lifetime. Image lifetime, and we'll call set followed component to component. Let's see, we do not have a paper flipbook component. or an animation controller. We're just spawning a freaking actor pretty much. Putting nothing on it, and we're not even like setting its transform. We're just making a new effect actor inside of the world. No real reason to do much here in C++, to be honest. Alright, so this should make stuff, should follow it. So we should be able to compile, and we're gonna create a simple after image effect, and we're gonna stick it on like our player controller. Let's fix all our basic errors. Yeah, it's getting late. It's 11 o'clock. What has happened to today? I've been working on stuff, I guess. Alright, so we are going to crack open our object, our player controller real quick, and then we're going to call create simple after image effect. We're going to grab our paper flipbook component, and what should happen is this thing makes after image objects until the end of time. Like, they're not timing anything out. This thing should just like have after images forever. And we're actually probably just gonna go jump around and see when the game falls apart. So gameplay, player logic object. So this is the initialize. So we're actually gonna call onCreate of our player controller. We're actually gonna move this over here. We're gonna have component. I mean, this should be a comment. We're gonna have a startup. So we're gonna call entity utils create simple after image effect, and we're gonna need to call get component by class, and we're gonna want to pass in the paper flipbook component. And there we go. That should attach an after image to ourselves. Why is this in error? This self is not an actor, therefore self must have a connection. Let's see it. Get owner? Yeah. Oh, give me a break here. Get owner if we're a component. Like, this thing sometimes is just freaking annoying. Target is an actor component. This is not an actor component. Alright, logic object. Why can I not get... Alright, initialize is passed in with the parent. So fine, 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 fine. Alright, well, it created it a little bit too well. They want to turn off collision on the after image. Yeah, we'll just set collision enabled to E collision enabled. No collision. Because we're colliding with ourself. So that is our after image effect. That never leaves. And as you can see, Unreal is pretty good at rendering a whole bunch of these damn sprites. You know, it just does a fine job. So we're just going to keep running around though a little bit. And it's starting to chop a little bit there. Yeah, let's see just how messed up that looks. I can hardly see where the hell I am. So yeah, this is how many bytes we can show on the screen, pretty much. A lot. So let's start adding a duration on that. So what we need is some information on these things. I mean, it's basically we need a struct or something like that, maybe a U class, but I don't want to new anything on it. I just want a U struct, I think. So when we do that, this is going to be U paper sprite component. This is going to be M component. This is going to be M creation time. This will be F, not animation wrapper, but after image thing. After image sprite holder. So we need after image sprite holders, and those are going to be, we'll just call them sprite holders. Let's actually have like an int32 m images. And we're just going to make this super naive. Because we don't have to do too much. So we are going to get our sprite holder. So holder, it's going to be holder.m component equals comp, holder.m creation time equals our time utils, get level time, and then we just do a sprite holders.add holder, and then we just have like for every image sprite holder and sprite holders, we just do like float age equals, just do float now equals get level time. So this can be holder.m creation time. This could be now minus creation time. So we're going to do float alpha equals 1.0f minus age divided by image lifetime. If alpha is less than or equal to 0, then yeah, let's just do like for int 32i equals 0, I is less than sprite holders dot num plus I. So we're just gonna say like holder equals sprites of I. Then we're basically gonna say like m sprite holders dot, let's see, what is TRA got in Unreal? We have an erase. or remove or a splice or remove at. Yeah, just remove at I minus minus. Delete component Unreal. Unremove component at runtime. Method is destroy is not available on the component on the actors. I solved this issue. I just called component unregistered component. I guess it's just, we'll just call m sprite, yeah, the holder dot m component image sprite holder. It most certainly has an m component on it. We'll just call destroy on it. Let's see, what is our paper sprite component? Has a color? Yeah, so we have f linear color, and let's take a look at f linear colors class. Its constructor is RGBA, so let's do 1.0f, 1.0f, 1.0f alpha. So we're just doing holder m component, and is there set sprite color? Yeah. Yeah. Creation time is not an F string, it's a float. Let's see, destroy component Unreal. Let's see. It's just destroy component. Yeah, okay, cool. And this is inefficient. Like, basically you want to reuse, probably want to reuse all the things. Reuse all the components and like all that sort of stuff. So you got like a set number of after images themselves, and you reuse them and you do all that stuff. But we're not really too worried about getting the efficiency right now. We're more just getting our proof of concept and so our basics in there. We can always re-implement an effect if it looks right and all that. And this is more about making sure the effects system itself that we've created allows us to grab everything we want. So we should have, you know, bitey after image that lasts for a second or two. And yeah, that's what we got. And then we can go into our gameplay and just change how we mess with this, and we should actually be able to say like image lifetime is like 0.2. So we hit play, and now he doesn't have, you know, like his after image is really short. And we'll also, we need something else. We need an enable and disable on it. So it's like enable after image and disable after image. And that should be on the effect itself or the component. I think it should be on the component. So we're just going to have is enabled and also set enabled, bool enable, and enable and disable. And some of these like this, I'm totally fine with throwing in line when they're super ridiculously simple like this. And is enabled. Alright, so we just need bool enabled. Default to true. And if not enabled, return. And then all we have to do is compile this. And then we can have our effect controller component actually check if this thing's enabled or not. And what we're going to do is we're going to grab our velocity and see if it's greater than a certain amount and turn the after image on. Only if we're going that fast or faster. We should be able to do that just by going into our player logic object for our update. We're actually going to save the effect actor here. We're going to set, we're just going to make a new variable, and we're going to call it after image actor. And it's going to be an actor. And we're actually We're gonna grab the after image. Yeah, this. Let's actually change this to an after image. After image effect controller reference. It's called get component like class. I'm gonna grab after image, yeah, like so. Let's add a little comment block. Where in the hell did that get made? Made it over there? Why in the hell would it make it over there? Let's see, after image. We're gonna say get velocity. Yeah, get out of my way, context sensitive thing. Movement. Get movement. Get velocity. Movement component reference. What the hell is this? Yeah, this is what I want. Size. Get size. Let's see, this will be vector, get intensity, get vector field. Is it magnitude? Vector length. Okay, vector length. And we want to basically do a branch. And we want a condition, which is going to be float greater. Let's see, 2500? And so if it's true, we want to let's do a get here, after image actor, enable. And also disable. So if it's true, enable. If it's false, disable. Hello, Genus Entertainment. How are you doing today? What language does Unreal support besides C++? Well, you're looking at it right here. You've got C++ as your main language to program in. And then this is Blueprint, which is visual scripting stuff. Like, there's no Unreal script anymore. That was like Unreal 3. Now it's this Blueprint stuff, which you can visually script things out. And it's pretty cool. For instance, this is our player controller. Thank you for following Genus Entertainment. And our player controller, we've basically got like this update event where we grab the current delta t, and then we grab like if our keys are down, like the left stick up action is set, then we're basically setting our directions. inside of our like set wanted velocity inside of our movement component, stuff like that. And then we can do things like play sound effects and create a. We have a whole bunch of random crap in here, but it's supposed to be kind of a designer-friendly scripting system. You can make entire games inside of blueprints. Probably not recommended, because some things are easier in C++ than in visual scripting languages. But yeah, that's pretty much what you get with Unreal. You can always, pop in your own scripting language if you want. Like you could there's probably a Lua plugin and stuff like that if you want to do something else. And another example of languages that you can use inside of it, I've got the Chromium Embedded Framework as a plugin. And so I can write JavaScript for my UI and stuff like that. And that's going to be really helpful later when we could just have like a web page for our HUD, which is going to be super awesome. So we should now be turning on our effect here, but we're not. So let's just take a quick look here. If not enabled, so if it's enabled, it should return true. Alright, well yeah, our velocity is set if greater than 25,000, which is completely wrong. So now it's triggering for us. So yeah, that's just some basics there. Nothing too crazy, and that's not like the this is obviously not a final after image or anything like that. I'm just throwing some basic crap on there just to make sure we're able to get the stuff we want. And if you want a little bit more of some information on the game we're working on here, I'm working on Dashkin. Sophomore in high school, interested in coding and animation and a bunch of other stuff. Yeah, well, yeah, I've been helping. A lot of people have been kind of popping into the channel while I've been working on stuff and asking me questions about, well, how'd you get into the game industry and which programming languages should I learn? One guy was even like, I'm in Eastern Europe and I want to be a gameplay programmer. What should I do? And I was like, well, go to school. But yeah. And yeah, a lot of people also were asking like, well, I don't know coding or anything like that, and I'm going to go to college and I kind of want to learn it, but I feel like a lot of people are already ahead of me and know how to code and all that. I didn't learn how to code until I was in college. Like, I showed up to programming school literally the worst, like the worst person in my entire class. Or not the entire class, but at least my my game class, I knew the least when I showed up. It was fun. Everyone else knew, like, had been programming crap for like 6 years or something, and like in their spare time, and I had no fucking idea even what the hell a variable was. So that we got our basic effect running there. That's cool. It works. It's in there. I think we're pretty much done for today on this stuff then. Like that's what it was there. Simple object-oriented JavaScript. Take advanced coding next year. Hopefully you have a good start. Object-oriented JavaScript is not where I would start with coding, but that's totally understandable. At high school, when I went to programming class in high school, they gave us HTML and said, here, this is programming. And it's like, that's not programming. At least you got JavaScript there, which is, a language of some sort. How we were taught programming where I went to school, which was Digipen in Washington State. Basically, they gave us Notepad and GCC and C, and they just said, there, learn to program. and they kind of started us off without any tools. Like you couldn't even use Visual Studio for like the first like section of all your programming, and that was just to make it so you had to learn everything. And like if you can program in Notepad and manually run the compiler and all that crap to like actually make code, then when you're actually inside of Visual Studio or anything else that's helping you out, you're fine. And when you take those tools away, like stuff doesn't work, or you have to debug something in release mode where there's no debugability, you can't step through it or anything. If you can do that, you know, if you already know how to do that, then you're good to go, and you'll never have problems. Like they threw us at Game Boy Color programming, where literally you can't do a breakpoint. You have to like set register C to this 0xb value, and that's a breakpoint and crap like that. But yeah, JavaScript is a good place to start for like high school, but I would definitely do. I think it's best for games to really understand. Like start with C and then do some programs in C and then move to C++. And also like C++ and LuaScript is a great combination for some games. JavaScript is super great for some prototyping stuff though. Like one of the games that we put together, like if I was making a Hack Day project or something else, a C++ application running a WebKit window, and then running JavaScript inside of that, that's probably what I'd do, because it's super easy to get everything running, everything works. C++ is there, you can get like your Xbox controller input through that, and then it's standalone because it's like an embedded web window, and just use Chrome or whatever to build it, and then use your app to run it. Anyway, yeah, so that's our image trail persistent effects. I've got one thing else on my list today, which is figure out a good place to put shared macro code. So inside of our code here, we can make macros which are things like this if-else branch is a macro inside of our player logic object, but I'd like this to be accessible to all blueprints, so I need to read up real quick on that. How to share macros, Unreal. Blueprint macro library. Okay, creating a blueprint macro library. Blueprint macro libraries are stored in packages and be created through the content browser like any other asset. So we go to the content browser, we right click, and it's like blueprint macro library. Okay. Choose a parent class. Can I just pick UObject? Can I just pick objects? Yeah, just can I